Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another movie review for you guys, and this one I'm going to be reviewing. Um, I saw it in theaters because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see this movie. I'm going to be honest, I did want to see this movie. I knew that it wasn't getting the best reviews, but I did want to see this movie. And that movie I'm going to be reviewing, Ending. Jupiter Ascending, yes, that's the movie I'm going to be reviewing. And Jupiter Ascending, basically here was my thing with Jupiter Ascending. I wanted to see this movie. I wasn't like, oh my god, I need to see Jupiter Ascending like now. I wasn't like that with the movie. However, I did want to see it. I mean, I was intrigued by it. It was the Wachowski brothers. I just seen The Matrix, and it kept getting pushed back, but it had a decent cast, and I actually thought the movie was going to be good. And after seeing it, Jupiter Ascending is just okay. Now, I'm not going to flat out trash this movie like everyone else has. Everyone's trashed it, said it's complete trash, said it's garbage. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say this movie was absolutely horrifically bad. I'm not going to say that because honestly, it was not that bad. I've seen much worse this year. Okay, there's a much worse movie coming out, and I think the reason that people don't realize about this is because they haven't seen Seven Son. When you see that, you're going to realize that this is not that bad. However, it's not that good either. Jupiter Ascending has a ton of problems. It was not very good. It's nothing I probably will ever watch again. It's very unwatchable, but let's get into the plot of Jupiter Ascending, which I think is overall pretty good. I mean, it's an interesting plot, I guess. I don't even really know how to explain it. It's a hard movie to explain. And basically, I'm just gonna read what the plot on IMDb says. In a bright and colorful future, a young woman basically there was this woman Jupiter who she is this caretaker at like this she's like this caretaker, and she gets targeted by this guy, Channing Tatum's character, a powerful family that live in a planet in need of a new queen. Basically, they need a new heir. So she travels with genetically engineered warrior to the planet in order to stop his basically in order to stop their warrior. And that's basically a plot of Jupiter Ascending. Now, I don't even know how to really explain the plot of Jupiter Ascending because it's a very hard movie to explain. That's actually one of my problems with it. Also, the other thing I want to say about Jupiter Ascending is I'm just going to get this off right out. This is not an action movie. Okay, I watched this with my dad in the theater, and he's like, that was a great action movie. This is not an action movie. It's not. There are a lot of dialogue-driven scenes. There is a lot of talking. There's a lot of build-up. This is not an action movie. Okay, if you guys want a fun action movie, I'm sorry, this is not that. This is not an action movie. Even though the Wachowski brothers have done action movies, the Wachowskis have done action movies. This is not the Wachowski brothers, the Wachowskis. They've done action movies. This is not an action movie. Let's get to the acting in this movie, which is very all over the place. There's some acting that's very good and some that's absolutely horrible. Let's get to our the main star here. Mila Kunis is Jupiter Jones. Now, look, I think Mila Kunis is a good actor. I think that she's done some very good things. I think that I've seen her on That 70s Show. She was great on that. I know she did some very good stuff in Black Swan. She does not belong in this kind of movie. She was horribly miscast in this role. So many things I hated about Jupiter's character. First of all, she's supposed to be our main heroine here, and she was not interesting. Her whole character, she's just complaining about her life. She's she's complaining about her life. She's saying that she hates her life. You see her, she's unhappy with her job and life, and she's also very lazy, and she's just not an interesting character. And just the way she reacted to things I didn't like either. Her character was supposed to be a very interesting character, and honestly, it's like that's who they recruit as their heir was Jupiter. Like seriously, there's nothing that interesting about her. And here's how she reacts when she sees something. If she discovers something in the movie, this is how she reacts. Holy crap! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That's how she reacts throughout the entire movie, and it's very, very annoying. She was definitely miscast. I could have thought of a million better actors. I could have thought of so many better actresses than her. Honestly, they should have gone to someone unknown. I've spoken to people about this, and I agree. They really should have gotten someone unknown to play Jupiter Jones. She was not very good in the movie. She wasn't horrible, but she wasn't very good either. And also, I didn't buy her as when her character does eventually transform into the heroine, I didn't buy her as a heroine. I really didn't. I didn't think she was an interesting character, and she was just boring to me. I didn't like her character at all, and she was just horribly miscast. Horribly miscast, very bad character, just not very good at all. Channing Tatum's character in this movie, Kane Wise, honestly, I think that he should have been the main character. If he would have been the main character, I would have liked the movie a lot more. His character is very well done. He is this engineered ex-military hunter, and there's some really cool stuff about his character. I thought he was great in the movie. My only thing with his character is that we didn't really get to know much about his character. We don't know too much about his character. They didn't really get into his character. And what also really annoyed me is that the second these two meet, you know that they are going to have a relationship, and it's really annoying. It did not belong in this movie. The whole thing with the two of them getting into a relationship did not belong in the movie at all. I didn't see any chemistry between the two of them whatsoever, and it just seemed extremely forced to me. I did really like some things they did with his character, like the rocket boots. That was really cool to see. He had some really cool action scenes as well. He was good overall, but even though he was good, he really had nothing to do. That's why he was good, because he really had nothing to do. But what he was in, he was good in. I mean, he really didn't have much to do, though, because I mean, while he has a lot of scenes, they don't really get into his character. You don't know too much about his character, and I just didn't find his character as interesting as he could have been. Sean Bean in this movie. I'm going to say it right now. If you guys think Sean Bean's going to die, it's actually one of those things where Sean Bean doesn't die. That's not a spoiler because he doesn't die. So, in case you guys want to know, Sean Bean does not die in this movie. I know, shocker, but Sean Bean was okay in this movie. You know, nothing too big about him. I liked his character overall. Honestly, I think his character was probably the most intriguing. I thought his character was definitely very interesting. I liked the relationship between Channing Tatum and Sean Bean. I mean, one of the things I liked about Kane's character, as I said, that I didn't say was that he actually, him and Stinger were very good friends. And basically, when Kane got into trouble, his wings were removed and he was exiled to Earth. And basically, his character has been there for a while, and I thought his character was definitely very interesting because of that. You really cared for his character, and at points I'm like, why aren't we focusing more on Sean Bean's character? I really thought he did a very good job, and his character was definitely very interesting. By far the most interesting character of the movie. By far. He was fantastic. I honestly thought he was very good, and I definitely enjoyed his character overall. But oh my god, nothing in this movie can compare to the god-awful performance of Eddie Redmayne, who is so, I mean, Eddie Redmayne's a very good actor. He was very good in The Theory of Everything. He was amazing in Les Miserables, amazing in both of those movies, and here's him in this movie. Hello, I'm Eddie Redmayne. I talk like this. Like, seriously, I was waiting for them to reveal that he had some sort of drug problem, or like he had some sort of heart problem, because of how much he sounded like a smoker. He wasn't even menacing in the movie. Just talking like this. This does not make you menacing. This makes me think you have a heart problem. It makes me think you're on those commercials where they show people with smoking problems, and they show those devices in their necks. This does not work. And then the thing that's so annoying about his character is he honestly gets angry 2 times in the movie, and it's hilarious. Anything that his character said, I was laughing hysterically. I don't care. I was laughing in the theater. My dad's like, stop laughing, but I don't care. I thought it was hilarious. His character is so dumb, and he was just, oh my god, so bad in this movie. So bad, and just pretty much the worst performance of the year. Pretty much. Yeah, he was worse than Jennifer Lopez in The Boy Next Door, and, yeah, just awful. Luckily, no one was as bad as him, but he was just awful. And the only other person I'm going to talk about is Douglas Booth as Titus. Now, they do something with his character that really pissed me off. His character, I didn't like at all, and I honestly thought like some of what they did with him kind of ruined the movie. Now let's get to the directing by the Wachowskis. The Wachowskis, their directing is all over the place. When it comes to directing, this movie is a mess. It's a complete mess because the movie starts off actually very promising. It starts off where we meet Jupiter's parents. She's giving this narrative about how her and her father loved each other, and then one day her father was killed, and basically Jupiter was taken to Earth, and her mother's been raising her. That was very intriguing. Once we meet Jupiter, though, this movie gets extremely silly and it gets extremely dumb, and I think their directing honestly was all over the place. Because when there's not a scene with Jupiter, the movie's very serious and very intense and pretty crazy. When you cut to a scene with Jupiter, though, the movie just gets so immature and dumb, and it just did not work for me. I thought the Wachowskis had some good ideas, but their directing just did not work, and it honestly just seemed like they were trying to make they're trying to make these good movies, but it just did not work, in my opinion. The directing was absolutely just all over the place. They never really figured out what they wanted to do with it, honestly. I feel like the directing, they didn't really know what they wanted to do with it, and it really did not work for me. Their tones, I didn't even, there were times when they wanted to make this movie funny, and it's not funny. There's some really stupid lines in here. There's a line where Mila Kunis says to Channing Tatum, I love my dog, and I love you just as much as my dog. Like, seriously, it was such a dumb line. Everyone in my theater laughed at that. Just, the directing just did not work, in my opinion. The writing is also by the Wachowskis, and the screenplay is awful to this movie. It's so immature. All the lines they gave to Jupiter, why did you make her such an immature character? This movie could have been such more well done, but any time that Jupiter reacted to something, all she said was, holy crap, or oh my god. It doesn't work. The movie could have been a lot better than that. And I really feel that one of the issues with the movie is definitely a screenplay. Screenplay is very off in this movie. It does not work. The things that they wanted, that they had some good ideas, but the screenplay did not work at all. And I was definitely very turned off by the screenplay. I did not like it at all. Honestly was terrible. I'm going to be honest. Screenplay was terrible. It was boring. I wasn't into what they were saying. I didn't care about what they were saying. And the script also was all over the place. There are so many parts in this movie where the script is all over the place. There's one thing where they end up focusing on, like, this wedding. I don't want to spoil it, but there's, like, this wedding that happens, and it's so dumb with what they did there. The score to this movie is gorgeous. The score is amazing. I think the score was fantastic, honestly. It was a great score, and I thought the score was just fantastic. Cinematography is by far the best part of this movie. The visuals and cinematography, anytime you see them outside of space, is just gorgeous to look at. Breathtaking cinematography. There is this one awesome badass fight in the beginning of the movie, and it's so awesome to see. Any of the fight scenes were very well choreographed, very well done. I think the fight scenes were honestly awesome in this movie, honestly. That really is what made the movie for me, were the fight scenes. And if you want to see anything about this movie, if I recommend anything about it, I recommend the fight scenes, because the fight scenes are very well done, and I thought the score was just, and the cinematography was just amazing. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the editing to this movie. Overall, the editing is very, very all over the place. So many times when this movie could have ended, there were so many points where I'm like, okay, this is the ending of the movie. And no, it wasn't. And I'm like, okay, this is the ending of the movie. And then when the movie finally ended, I'm like, that's the end of the movie? Like, seriously? Like, it didn't work for me. It didn't work. I thought the ending was stupid. And by the way, guys, no, this movie's not going to have a sequel. I thought it was, but it's not going to have a sequel, and I'm happy it's not, because I don't want to go through another one of these movies. If it did, then I would have had some hope and say maybe this series has potential, but it's not going to be turned into a series because there's only going to be one of these. Which is good, because I don't want another Jupiter Ascending. So overall, guys, would I recommend Jupiter Ascending? Yes and no. I'd recommend it, but at the same time, I don't want to recommend that. I'll say this about Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending, for the most part, is an okay movie with a horrible performance from Eddie Redmayne, but other than that, and very much immature dialogue that is not working at all. And other than that, though, I think the movie could be... The movie could have been very good if they wouldn't have focused on the love story aspect as much. Also, the ending of the movie is just bullshit. I'm sorry. The ending of the movie was complete, utter bullshit, and I hated the ending. I'm gonna be honest. I hated the ending of this movie. I thought it was complete, utter bullshit, and I'm seriously like, that's the ending of the movie? Like, the ending of the movie is just so stupid what ends up happening. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you guys do want to see this movie, then whatever, you do want to see it. I'm just going to tell you guys it's not exactly going to be what you think. It's not going to be as funny as you think. It's not going to be as good as you think. It's not again, it's not terrible. It's just not very good. It's not very good. It's not very well done, and it's not that good either, and it really just did not work for me. In fact, they had a poster of this movie, and I said to my dad, I will get that poster if I like the movie. Do I have the poster? No. Obviously, I did not like this movie. Is it one of the worst movies of the year? No. It's just very forgettable. And if I had to rate it, definitely 2.5 to 5 and a C minus. Really, I would. I'd give it a C minus. That's what I think it deserves. And, yeah. So that's basically my review for Jupiter Ascending. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys saw this movie. Honestly, guys, I thought this movie was, okay. It wasn't absolutely horrible. But I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for another movie review, which will be for a movie that I'm actually really enjoying. I already started. I really like it, and I can't wait to review it for you guys. And yeah, so, again, would I recommend this movie? No, not really, but if you guys want to see it, whatever. There weren't that many people in my theater, either. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that popular of a movie, and yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.